Hello friends, welcome back to Chicken Run Creations. This is Dawn. We are continuing our Nativity series. In the last video you saw where we completed Mary and Joseph, and I was debating about putting eyes on them, but I tried it on Mary and I didn't like how it looked, so they will remain eyeless. Today we're going to start working on baby Jesus. And I have Mary handy here because I want to make sure that I get the proportions right for the baby so it's not too big or too small. So I'm going to kind of keep her handy. To start, we're going to need a pipe cleaner because I want to use a pipe cleaner for his hands. I don't think I'm going to make feet. I was debating about that. It might change as we get going. I'm not sure. So anyway, I have just a small piece of pipe cleaner here. It's probably big enough for both hands and legs if I decide to go that route, but definitely big enough for hands, or arms rather. I have a piece of a core sliver here to use for the head. I have some of the color that I use for the face here, which we'll use around the head. And I'm not sure if I'm just gonna like maybe wrap the baby in like a, you know, like swaddling clothes, or what I'm gonna do. We'll see when we get to that. So anyway, to start, we need to kind of figure out what size head we want our baby to have. So I'm just gonna, I just have a, it's not even a full piece, it's a half a piece here. And actually, I think I'm gonna actually pull this apart even more so it's only a quarter of a piece because I don't want it to get too big. So I'm just gonna start to roll it here a little bit and probably pull it off. I'm gonna pull there. I mean, I can add more if I need to, so I'm just gonna kind of start to stab this down. I'm using a 38 triangle needle here. And smaller projects, it's always very easy to stab yourself, so be careful as you're working around. This is probably an inch, yeah, just under an inch wide. So I'm just going to felt this down into a ball, see what size it is compared to Mary, and then decide if I want to make it a little bit bigger or not. So remember, when you're making something round, it's best to just keep moving your ball as you're stabbing it. And I'm going to take it and roll it in my hands here a little bit. Kind of help it. So let's see. It might be a little big, but it'll get smaller here yet. So I'm just using the 38, so, and there's still quite a bit of give here, so it will definitely go down. It'll just be a big newborn, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, you think it'll work? I think it'll work. All right. Now I'm not going to finish stabbing it. I'm going to take my top coat here, and you can look back in the last video to see what I used and where I got it from. Now I don't want it to get too big, but I want it to cover pretty well, so that doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to go down to my 42 triangle and just attach this just like we did with the head for Mary and Joseph. I kind of stab this in here. So I decided I would make the baby first because I didn't know how big to make the manger without knowing how big the baby was going to be. So we will hopefully do the baby in this video, and then I'll do the manger in the next video. Hopefully this won't take too long to make, we'll see. So at the moment I'm just trying to get it really well attached here at the neck, and then I'll go and stab around the rest of the head. So I'm gonna speed this up for you so you don't have to sit here and watch the whole thing get felted down. You get the gist of it. I think that'll work. All right, now let's figure out how we're gonna do his arms here. I'm gonna pull this apart and figure out how big the arms should be. Let's see. I think that'll work with folding it over a little bit. So let me see, I'm just gonna, oh, where's my clippers here? Just gonna cut this off. Stick it in there. Make sure that I kind of have it centered. I think just get a little bit of wool here. I'm gonna try and, I don't know if this will work. I think it's too, I was gonna try and tie it around here, but I don't think that'll work. I can just maybe wrap it a few times. Just to hold it in place. Move it up a little bit. Okay. Just stabbing it in here so it'll hold. Alright, I'm going to take my flesh color here again and just get a little bit, if that's enough or not. His arms might be a little too long, but I'm going to fold them down. Let me fold them down after I get the wool on them here. So going to, not worrying about getting too close. Smoothly wrapping it around. Okay, get up to the top. I'm going to take this end here. Let's see how much I want to fold it down. I think that'll work because still gotta build up his body a little bit. So I'm gonna wrap the rest of this around here. Try to anyway. Take a little bit more and finish off his arm here. I find it easier to turn the wire instead of wrapping it up and around. And I'm just gonna kind of attach this down here like so. Need to belt his neck down a little bit more. He's got a rather large neck. Okay, so to make sure my arms are going to be the same length, let's do the other one. It's a little thin. Go back up because this one's a little thinner than the other one. You probably can't see what I'm doing here. little bit too thick. And just wrapping the rest of it around his body there. I feel like his head could use another coat of my flesh color here. It seems a little thin. I can do that. I can still do that. All right, let's try him out in Mama's arms here. So maybe a little big, but I don't think it's too bad. All right. Now I'm just going to, let's see, maybe I'll have some, do I want to use the slivers? I have some white batting here. I think I'll use to build up his body a little bit. Make it look like he's wrapped. Nope, that just kind of came off. I just have to watch because this has vegetation in it. So I'm trying to think of, you know, how a baby would look who's been kind of wrapped up in a blanket or cloth. And you probably, you know, you wouldn't be able to see his legs, so we can kind of go with the same idea that we did for Mary and Joseph. And newborns tend to have their legs kind of pulled up underneath them, so it's okay if he's not quite, you know, the size that proportionally the size that a child would be, because most of the time newborns have their legs pulled up under them. So I think that looks like a good length. Get a different needle here. Now I'm probably not going to give him any hair. I mean, I could. Obviously, if you wanted to give him a little bit of hair, you totally could do that. My babies were mostly bald when they were born. A few of them had a little bit of hair, but not a lot. Now what I might do, though, is I might put like a little blanket. Fix that one hand here. That would come up over his head. So kind of like how we did the cloaks. Make something that will come up and over his head, I think. Because we want him to stay warm. See what I mean about vegetation in this? See if I can pull this out and not break my needle. Go. Of course, if he's laying in the hay in a manger, he's probably going to have some vegetation debris in his clothing anyway, right? I'm not going to put a halo on him. That's just not how I picture baby Jesus. I know some religions do a halo on Jesus and Mary, but I'm not going to do that. So if that's how you envision the Christ child, then you're more than welcome to add a halo somehow on them. Okay. I'll get the bottom covered here a little bit more. And I think he's too skinny. Maybe have to build up the bottom just a little bit. See if he has his legs tucked up underneath him. I was thinking last night about doing another nativity, only just make them, you know, like the size of the little chunky little people. All right, let's see. What do you think? I think his head's a little big, but I can maybe get that down a little bit more. Okay, so let's see if we can make a little blanket here for him. I'm going to use the same white. Get some more here. And let's see. I mean, even if I don't like attach it to him, I can lay it on top of the hay in the manger. So I think that might work. So I had somebody comment on one of my last videos about using the brush. And it's not a needed thing. I think it comes up easier than doing it in the mat. So I'm just going to take my multi-tool here and work on flattening this down. think the size of this brush is like perfect, so I'm just going to fold over the edges. Let's see. Maybe let's fold this top down just a little bit more. Because I have some different colors in there. That's okay. Let's see. Just get a little bit to put down the middle here. Okay. All right, move this out of the way. So now I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm just going to felt it down a little bit more and clean up the edges. Got a lot of different colors in here. So I'm just going to go through and felt this down with my finer needle, get it to look a little more felted here, and then clean up the edges. I'm going to take my cardboard here and my finger guards and just show you how to clean up the edges, and then I'll probably finish this up off screen. So I'm just going to take my needle and poke it right along the edges to get those fluffy bits felted in. So you see that? How it's smoother compared to this part over here. Okay, so I'm going to go around, do all the sides like that, and we have baby here. I think that'll work. All right, so I'm going to finish this off camera, and then I'll come back and, although I'll show you the finished process, and then I will, on the next video, we'll do the manger. So let me finish this. I will come back after I get that done, show you the finished blanket, and we'll call it for this video. Okay, I got it done. Note to self, before doing white on the brush, make sure you clean it, because we have all sorts of little different color fibers in there, but that's okay. So there we go. I could maybe round the edges a little bit, but let's just kind of see here if Mary can hold them or not. Maybe. So I might attach the blanket to them. I'm not sure. I mean, I could like kind of fold this back a little bit like that. And yeah, maybe she could hold them. But chances are he'll be in the manger most of the time anyway. So, but yeah, or she can hold them without the blanket. If I don't attach the blanket, she can hold them, kind of. So anyway, so there's baby Jesus. The next video we'll do the manger, and I'll show you here. I have all sorts of balls here on my desk. I started to make heads for the shepherds and the wise men and what have you. So like I said, I'll just kind of show you those as I, I'll make up the basic doll and then show you how to embellish them. So I started that. I'm not sure how soon I will get to all of them. They might be a further down the road video. We'll see how it goes. I have lots of ideas and just not enough time to do them all. So anyway, so that is our baby Jesus and his little blanket. And I will see what we can do for the next video about getting his manger made and see what else we can get done. Maybe I can get a few of the shepherds done or wise men done, or maybe we'll do an animal. I already have a sheep video, so you can kind of watch that, although I think I might do like probably smaller. I think the sheep that I have might be too big. I'll have to see. Maybe a donkey, because Mary came in on a donkey, so maybe we'll have to attempt a donkey. I haven't made a donkey yet, so we'll see. But anyway, we'll cut this video here so I can get it edited and hopefully up. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.